Hello again, it's Noob, and well, today I've got a kit which I just haven't ever really looked at before. Never owned one until now, and this is the Sparrows Dark Shift. The reason I wanted to look at this is because in one recent-ish video I did about the best starter lockpick sets you can get, I featured one of my favourites, which is the Sparrows Tuxedo kit. Really like this kit. And in the comments, people were saying, check out the Dark Shift. So I was like, well, okay then. So finally, here we are. Now, I've obviously laid all of it out like this just because it looked good on camera, really. But it's in no particular order. You obviously get this, watch out for the Velcro. This nice nylon case. It's double stitched where it needs to be. It's got a nice firm backing. It's just really nice. I don't know what the colour is. It's sort of a bluey military grey. I really like it anyway. It's quite smart, isn't it? It's got obviously an embroidered Sparrows logo. Makes it look really nice. Interestingly, with this kit, there aren't any traditional like bottom of the keyway style tensioners in it. Not that it actually matters. In some ways you might view this as an advantage, but it has instead 5 top of the keyway tensioners, these pry bars if you will, and they're double-sided, give you a huge range of different tensioner profiles there and there, and they do come in different thicknesses. I think 3 of them are 0.8mm, then you got 1.7 and 1 thick one, which is I think that one, which is 1mm. There are no 1.2mm tension tools in here, but like I said, you've got 5 double-ended top of the keyway and technically bottom of the keyway tensioners too. I like this one in particular in that kit for you. What else do we have? Well, we have obviously a range of picks and rakes. The one which might stand out to you out of all of these is probably this one, which is the Sandman, and this is a pick which I guess I don't really use very much. It's not one of those ones which I normally have in my everyday kit, but I have to say that the one thing it does very well, seemingly, is in master locks. It just seems to just act like a key. That's that. I mean, it really does eat these little low security master locks. I mean, like I said, just because it's not one of those picks which I personally use a lot doesn't mean it doesn't have a use. While we've got it in our hand, we might as well just look at the actual pick itself. It's actually a departure from the traditional Sparrows handles. Let's see if I can grab one out of the Tuxedo kit as a demonstration. So this is like a traditional one, and the Dark Shift kit obviously has ported handles, and if you look very carefully on the underside here, get the camera to focus for me, there we go, it's got a little bit of, listen, serrations there, and also I remember, yeah, here as well. So if you're holding it like this, obviously it's got a grip point here, and this whole thing is designed so that it can be used in more extreme conditions, say it's wet or you're wearing gloves, just to add extra grip throughout. And actually, depending on which way you hold it up, it's comfortable both ways, I find. Despite its, you know, reason for being ported like this, I have to say, I quite like that. I quite like those geometric shapes in there. It just works for me. What other picks do we have in here? Well, let's just look at the hooks, or hybrid hooks, depending on how you want to call them. Now, I might get the names of these wrong, so please do jump in on the comments if I have. But I think this is the offset hybrid. Works very nicely as a sort of high half diamond, sort of that cross between an offset, the deforest diamond, and a standard small half diamond. Very useful. What I think is a Tron, a really nice low shallow hook, especially good in smaller keyways. And what's really nice is the Sparrows Euro hook, which is actually really useful. It gives you that extra little bit of reach and finesse in high security Euro locks, I find. I'll probably intersplice this video with me using a couple of these picks, probably the offset hybrid, just in an M1 master lock or something like that, and maybe this Tron in a much smaller keyway lock. So that's a hook selection, which leaves obviously the rakes. Now, one thing which I do like in a kit is a snake rake, and well, this isn't a snake rake, this is a double peak bow guitar. However, and don't tell anybody I said this, but I think they're relatively interchangeable. Naturally, this will be better in some locks than others, and same with the snake rake, but I think that as a compromise, it's perfectly fine to have either or in a kit. That's my opinion. No doubt many of you will disagree. And then we got three absolute classics, and all three of these profiles actually appear in my sort of standard hybridized kit of many manufacturers. But these profiles I think are almost essential in any pick set, really, I'd say, and that's the triple peak bow guitar, the city rake, and this Sparrows worm, which I really like. Now, what's a good thing about that is that whilst the bow guitars themselves are quite sharp peaked, and you can still sort of scrub rake with them, they're nice to sort of use a mix of oscillations and lifting. You can be a lot more firm and rough with something like the worm profile, because it's a rounded peak, so less likely to sort of put wear and tear on the internals of the lock. And I absolutely have both these profiles in my standard kit for those exact reasons. They both have a sort of different purpose. Anyway, let's intersplice again with some little clips of me using these, or a couple of these, in some locks. So now I've got my hands on it, what do I think to this Dark Shift set? Well, I didn't miss any of the bottom of the keyway tensioners, although I imagine that you probably have a load of those anyway if you're looking to buy a nice kit like this. The tensioners are provided are certainly dynamic enough to get you into a ton of locks. I really like the styling, not only of the case actually, but of these handles, really great. In terms of the pick profiles, well, this certainly fits the niche of sort of a backup kit, a starter kit, or an everyday carry kit. It's sort of got enough profiles to get you into probably a good 80% of the standard locks out there. I mean, this is a really solid set of profiles. That being said, if I was to be really picky, no pun intended, I really think that a medium hook would certainly complement this kit. So I think if you were going to buy one of these, then at some point I would definitely suggest that you look for a medium hook to add into this. But once you have that, then you've opened up even more sort of locks. So overall, I would say yes, absolutely, really great, very solid pocket set. Is it better than the Sparrows Tuxedo? Oh, I don't know. It just might be, actually. I think there's a sort of a bit of a seesaw in terms of one has these things, one has those things. But maybe, just maybe, just because of the styling and the fact this has a bow guitar in it, yeah, I have to say it's pretty much up there, isn't it? How much is this going to cost? Well, I think it comes in at about $39 US and 95 cents, which is pretty good for a kit like this. It's clearly made of the excellent Sparrows steel, and yeah, it's really, really good. So let me know what you think in the comments. Have you used one of these? Have you got on with it? Is there anything you'd swap out? Is there anything you think is missing? I'm really interested to know what you think, because clearly I've only had this for a few days. I've been playing around with it, but for those of you who've had it one for a lot longer, it'd be really interesting for you to let me know what you think in the comments. Well, hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you all next time.